My name's Nicholas Nesbitt and I am the General Manager for IBM East Africa here in Nairobi. I've been working in this position for the last 3 years. Previously, I was an entrepreneur, started the first BPO call center in East Africa. And it was after about 15, almost 20 years living in the States that I decided to come home and try to make a difference. But before I made the big switch to come back to Kenya, I spent about 10 years working in corporate America, in startups, IT startups. My career started really in consulting, working at Boston Consulting Group. I got my MBA from Stanford, and my application to Stanford was all about, when I get this degree, I'll spend a little time working and I will return to Kenya. But it's been a real transformation moving from a very technical background. I have a master's in electrical engineering from Dartmouth College, one of the Ivy League schools in the States. And this blend of technology and business, and now working in Kenya as an entrepreneur, I brought all of those skills to IBM. Still with a transformative agenda, still with the hopes and expectations that I can use technology to help transform this region. It has been really, really rewarding to see the smiles on people's faces, to see light bulbs go off, to see people come back to us and tell us that what they learned at one of the sessions at IBM has helped them to transform their lives or even transform their business. People think of IBM as a competitor, but in many areas we might compete, in other areas it might be more that we are partners. We really focus in areas where decision makers are looking for the technology, looking for the experience, looking for the security that IBM provides. At the high end, it's about strategy. How can you transform this country through government? How can you transform our business? And there people are asking us for different kinds of expertise. It might be around hosting their applications. It might be around delivering on an SAP implementation from Oracle or from SAP. We're the largest implementers in the world. We, as the leaders, one of the leaders in security globally, have security operations centers that run around the clock. They commit their lives to trying to understand what the people on the other side, the dark side, are trying to do with penetrating people's networks and messing with their data. So when companies engage with IBM on security, they can trust that they're getting the benefit of the global security business from IBM. Now, with the proliferation of devices, proliferation of social media, there's vast amounts of information that we call unstructured data. It's not sitting in a rigid database, but it's unstructured, it's sitting out there. How do you make sense of that? That's where the IBM analytics platforms come in. And we try to blend the structured with the unstructured data to give you insights into what is happening with the people in the target markets that you care about. But when you take that a step further, what is happening is very smart people out there are trying to do things or trying to answer questions, and you cannot digest all of this information. So what IBM has done is gone into the cognitive space and has invested very heavily in systems around our Watson platform. And the Watson platform is about cognitive. It's about teaching the machines to learn. So when you train it to learn one thing about, it could be oncology, about cancer, it can now take that and then absorb the additional information that comes in. All of which allows a doctor using an application to interrogate all of these research reports and all the data and all the clinical trials from around the world to make more informed decisions about how to treat a particular patient. Wouldn't it be great if there were tools you could go to that could make sense of all of this data, whether you're trying to understand the breakout of an epidemic in a particular region of Africa and how that could apply to your own region, whether you're trying to understand what it takes to promote financial inclusion in one part of Africa. Wouldn't it be great if you can understand how that could impact your part of the region? So our vision as IBM is that we take Watson, we enable developers, entrepreneurs, other companies to interact through APIs to the Watson platform and develop solutions that are appropriate for their target market and give access in a ready format to people who want to interrogate that data. IBM is really committed globally to ensuring that we uplift the lives of the citizens in the areas in which we work. Signed up relationships with about a dozen universities in Kenya, more in the rest of East Africa, where we're helping them to teach students in the areas of cloud, analytics, cyber security, mobile, and so on and so on. So we're very invested in uplifting the skills of people in education and people in the private sector. IBM has also rolled out a program, again internationally, called our Corporate Service Corps, where we take 6 to 8 people, professionals, IBM professionals, mid-career, and they form a team and they come out to the region, where they have gone to solve specific problems that companies, NGOs, or even the government is facing. My responsibility, the team's responsibility here, is to bring the full gamut that IBM has to offer with all of our partnerships to the table in East Africa. And our customers, our employees, and our business partners get the benefit of everything IBM has to offer globally here in East Africa.